welcome back to Shannon and Veronica Know Everything. Today we're going to be going over sleep disorders. So to begin with, I want to go over the 5 stages. So there's a bit of confusion here. So what we have on the board just kind of illustrates on an EEG what each stage looks like. So we have awake, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and then REM sleep. But then if you look at a few other resources, you find that there's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, and then REM. So take that with a grain of salt, whatever you want to know, go with it, but we're going to stick with this. And then with our chart here, you can kind of see that being awake and REM are very similar because typically you're in REM and then you wake up. So they're kind of similar stages. One thing to note with stage 2, you have spindles and then a K complex on your EEG. Stage 3 is like very up and down, larger waves. Starting to move into disorders. So we're going to start with hypersomnolence. So this is where you have excessive sleepiness despite getting a good amount of sleep. Moving down to narcolepsy, so this is a type of hypersomnolence. So narcolepsy is where you're falling asleep during the day. So I could just be walking and then boom, I'm out, I just fall asleep. This can also be associated to hallucinations. So these typically can occur prior to falling asleep. So I can hear voices and then I fall asleep. And this isn't with everyone, it's just a possibility. With narcolepsy, this has to be happening at least 3 times per week for at least 3 months. Moving down to restless leg syndrome, this is an urge to move your legs, and the only way for it to go away is if you get up and walk. This can also be associated to an iron deficiency. Now we have non-REM sleep arousal. This is where you are sleepwalking and having night terrors, and this typically occurs during a deep sleep, so around 10 p.m. So this could be somebody who, they wake up, all their furniture's rearranged, there's food thrown everywhere, and they have no idea what happened. Maybe like a burglar came in, but they're actually doing it themselves when they wake up. Not wake up, but when they're sleepwalking. So next we have REM. So this is REM disorder. So upon awakening, the individual is completely awake. I don't really understand that. And this typically occurs...
Because it's where you're dreaming is REM, so it's like a very light sleep. So you're awake, because it's a light sleep REM.
So this typically occurs around 5 a.m. So if you go back to this, this is like the end of your sleep cycle. So that's why it's towards that 5 a.m. period, or most people are waking up. We have nighttime disorders. So this occurs during REM, and people reorient well. So that means that they're having this night terror, and they're able to visualize it because it's more towards that time where you're getting ready to wake up. And then once you awaken them, they can orient really quickly because they're about to wake up anyways. Then we have circadian rhythm sleep-wake disorder. So this is persistent or recurrent pattern of sleep disruption that is due to an alteration in your circadian rhythm. So this is somebody who doesn't sleep for 24 hours, they feel great, and then they sleep for a whole day, and then they're awake for another 3 days. So typically your circadian rhythm ensures that you're alert during the morning, and then you start to go to sleep around nighttime. But this is, there's some type of malfunction, so therefore you can stay awake for a long period and sleep for a long period. Insomnia, this is where an individual is not sleeping enough, they have terrible sleep quality. And some things to know with insomnia, so it's a major risk factor for suicide. It makes disorders worse, for example, anxiety, major depressive disorder, and bipolar. And then the thing for therapy is going to be cognitive behavioral therapy. So that's a big one for treatment when it comes to insomnia. And then sleep apnea, this is where you stop breathing during the night. And it varies in severity depending. So yeah, those are sleep disorders, and then there are stages of sleep, which again can vary depending on what you look at for your resource. So thanks for tuning in.